When choosing an airline credit card, it's often difficult to figure out which may be the best for you because the benefits seem so similar on the surface. When you compare the Delta SkyMiles lineup to the United Mileage Plus lineup, that fact is staring you right in the face. However, when you take a deeper look beneath the surface, there are massive differences between these two lineups of credit cards that can create a ton of value if you know what to look for. That's why, in today's video, I'm going to show you how I personally compare the Delta SkyMiles lineup against the United Mileage Plus lineup. And I'll show you the exact reasons that I feel that one of these lineups brings way more to the table than the other. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rick and I help you save more, earn more, and experience more, all using credit cards. Today, I'm going to compare the Delta and United lineup head to head through my own eyes. I'll share with you where I come from as a traveler and my personal spending habits, as well as the differences that I see between these two lineups of credit cards. Finally, I'll reveal the one thing that really swung it towards one side to me, the single differentiator that one of these lineups has that the other just doesn't have anything comparable to. Ultimately, my preferred lineup of credit cards is not always going to be the best for everybody, but whether you agree with me or not, I hope that sharing my perspective will bring you some real value, potentially save you some time, money, and frustration. Let me start out with the foundation, which is my perspective in sharing where I'm coming from when I break down both of these card lineups. The current credit cards that I have and my own travel habits help inform my perspective, and I'm willing to bet that you watching this aren't too dissimilar from where I sit today. First of all, I want to share my credit card situation. I see airline credit cards as benefit credit cards, icing on the cake, not the core credit cards that I'm swiping on every single day. While I am a credit card YouTuber and therefore have way more credit cards than the average person out there, 11 to be exact, I'll still sum up why this strategy of not spending on an airline card daily is applicable to most people. In about 30 seconds, my general strategy for credit cards is this. First, I've got good general bank cards that earn transferable currency and good rewards with some travel benefits for my purchases. Then I have a few specific cards that fill high multipliers in categories that I spend in a lot. Think 5% back in categories such as gas, or at retailers such as Amazon. Lastly, part 3, I look at adding hotel or airline cards, what we'll talk about today, as those extra benefit cards that really are the icing in the cake to my setup. This is where I'm at when I'm comparing the Delta and United lineups. I'm not looking at them as the main cards in my setup, mostly because they don't earn good rewards on everyday purchases. I'm looking at them for the extra benefits they can provide. Some insight into how bad the rewards earning on most airline credit cards are, a quick comparison between a $0 annual fee card in the Chase Freedom Unlimited, which earns a lot in many different categories, and the $650 annual fee Delta SkyMiles Reserve, which only earns in 2 categories, shows you exactly what I mean. Now, before we compare, to clue you in on my travel habits, I am not what people would consider a road warrior, but I'm also not someone who never leaves the house. For my 9 to 5, I've looked back and I tend to average between 4 and 6 flights a year that are work related. In my personal life, I tend to travel 2 to 3 times a year that involve a flight, and oftentimes I'm traveling alongside my wife. Fortunately, I can put those work trips on my personal cards to earn airline or travel points and then get reimbursed on the back end while taking advantage of some of the benefits that those cards may offer. And through my experiences, I've really boiled down my goals simply being to save money, but also provide a great experience while I'm on the road. I would say for most of you out there watching this, all of that probably sounds pretty normal. Okay, now that you're on the page that I'm on, let's dive into the comparison. I looked at these two lineups in every single way, and I found 4 specific reasons why I really see more value in one over the other. First, I think it's important to level when we start this comparison that there are a few things that the entire lineups of credit cards both do that give you a leg up in value. I love both the United and Delta card lineups because I do feel that there is a card entry point for everybody. Both have 4 cards and they start between $0 and go all the way up to $695 on the United side and cap out at $650 on the Delta side, with a couple cards in between for those mid-tier level travel cards. This is great because there's a price point that pretty much everybody can be comfortable at. Additionally, both lineups start offering free bags at their second level card and up. For Delta, this is the Amex Delta Gold card, and for United, this is the United Mileage Plus Explorer card, and both lineups similarly offer priority boarding as well. This won't get you to the front of the line, but it certainly will be enough to allow you to take your carry-on, store it in the overhead bin, and not risk being forced to check it by being at the back of the boarding group. Now you can lump all of that together and consider that the same across both groups. However, here is now where we start to see some differences. Let me introduce you to the first of the 4 key differentiators that I see that help you choose between one of these 2 card lineups. Differentiator number 1 is the sign-up bonus that you're offered when you hop on board. When I consider any credit card, the first thing that I look at is the value I'm being offered in a welcome bonus. In a lot of cards, you can only get this bonus once. And if you can get it more than one time, you often are locked out for an extended waiting period before that ever comes around again. So this is an important part of the entire equation. I'd always felt that Delta was offering slightly higher welcome offers than United, but I'd never taken the time to chart it out. However, for this video, I made that exact chart for you and I compared each level from 0 all the way into the $600 tiers and their corresponding sign-up bonuses. I'll show you on the screen as I talk through it what those sign-up bonuses are. To account for these bonuses fluctuating wildly, I slotted in each sign-up bonus as the offer you can typically get with just a little bit of waiting time. What I found when I charted them out is that even though that they can fluctuate, Delta consistently offers between 10,000 and 20,000 more miles for their comparable card than United does. To verify this, I looked at historical charts provided by uscreditcardguide.com, which is my single favorite resource for looking at historical sign-up bonuses on any credit card. Across the board, Delta cards are slightly higher, and they see those elevated offers kick in more frequently than United. The second thing I like to look at when comparing these 2 lineups is how I'm going to start to get the annual fees that I'm paying in to hold the card back in terms of value. That's often offered through benefits or credits, and I like to start by looking at the biggest credits that each card offers to see that if I get one thing right while holding the card during the year, how much value I'm going to recoup from just making that one correct move. The Delta cards are very consistent. They all offer a credit towards Delta Stays. Delta Stays is a hotel booking portal through Delta. It really allows you to book any property that you would see online, just booking it through Delta's own portal. With the SkyMiles cards, you're offered 3 tiers of credit depending on which card you get. The Delta SkyMiles Gold offers an $100 hotel credit when booking through Delta Stays, the Platinum $150, and the SkyMiles Reserve a $200 credit. Now to me, this credit being the biggest one on all 3 of those cards is instantly appealing. First of all, a hotel makes sense in conjunction with an airline credit card. Second, they're just in one chunk. Really, one stay is going to knock these credits out, and I instantly can recoup 100% of the value offered in that credit with simply one stay. I personally feel between the free checked bags and the Delta Stays credit, at least for the Delta Gold and the Delta SkyMiles Platinum, pretty much every year using those 2, I can recoup the annual fee I pay in to hold the card and a little bit more. When I compare these to the United credit card lineup, I don't necessarily see that one big credit that makes the same splash the way the Delta Stays hotel credits do on the Delta side. Here's what I mean. When you start with the United Explorer card, there's not one main credit that really sticks out. With the Explorer card, you see 2 $50 hotel credits, 2 $25 rental car credits, and then 2 passes into the United Club lounges. It's tough to approximate a value on those, but I pegged that around $100. On the Mileage Plus Quest and the Club card, you get $200 in United Travel Bank credit. This, fortunately, is a little more straightforward, and it's offered in one-time valuable chunks. However, a massive negative of Travel Bank credit is that it cannot be combined when redeemed with miles, meaning that if you do book a flight over $200 with the credit, you're going to have to pull out the credit card and use some cash in addition, which is something that some of us try to avoid when booking travel. Now, beyond the biggest credits on each of these cards, generally, United tends to pack more smaller credits into their credit cards. Delta has a few big one-time credits that I generally prefer to get my value out of. Even if the total value in the Delta credits may be smaller, the simplicity and getting to use all of the credit in one time is a really big plus in my mind. Now, the next differentiator that stands out between the two is something I'm going to call spending-based incentives. While credits and different benefits are good, typically credit cards offer those to you after paying in on the annual fee. However, between these two lineups, only one lineup allows additional credits and additional benefits if you meet certain spending thresholds. Generally, I consider this a bad thing. We've already talked about the negatives of getting low multipliers by spending regularly on an airline card, and needing to hit additional spending marks to unlock additional value on the cards seems to be another hurdle that I'd not rather jump through. In the Delta lineup of credit cards, they offer one such of these sort of spending incentives. That's simply $10,000 of spend gets you a $200 flight credit, and that's available on the Delta SkyMiles Gold. As for United, they've got a number of different spending incentives for you to hit to unlock additional value. They've got something similar on their Explorer card. Spend $10,000, but get only a $100 United flight credit. Same amount of spend, same level of card, but only half the value that Delta offers. On their United Mileage Plus Quest card, they offer two of these. Spend $20,000 and earn a 10,000 mile award flight discount. You can also spend $40,000 and earn 2x economy plus seat upgrades. When you get into the United Club card, spending $50,000 on that card unlocks all access United Club membership. This gets you access for either the cardholder plus 2 adult guests or the cardholder plus 1 adult guest and all children dependent upon that initial cardholder. I look at these spending incentives not as features, but as flaws. If you take these on, you've got to keep track of your progress towards those goals and earmark specific spending on those cards to make sure you're getting those benefits unlocked. Additionally, you've got the problem of forgetting to then redeem these benefits, usually within a certain time after you've actually broken through and unlocked them for yourself. While these three differentiators so far lean me towards Delta credit cards, the last one really was the one that broke it open. This is the final differentiator, and this is a companion ticket offered on the Delta lineup that has no comparable offering on the United lineup. The Delta SkyMiles Companion Certificate is one of the most valuable Delta SkyMiles benefits. This is offered only on the upper two cards, the SkyMiles Platinum and the SkyMiles Reserve. The benefit works like this. Each year, on your card member anniversary, you'll be entitled to a buy one, get one free ticket on Delta flights when you hold those two upper level cards. As long as you pay for one ticket with cash, your second ticket is completely free except for the taxes and fees associated. This benefit can easily save hundreds of dollars on a round trip ticket, and for the Reserve and the SkyMiles Platinum card, potentially make up for most, if not all, of that annual fee you pay to hold those cards. United competed on many credits and benefits that the Delta cards already have. This is potentially Delta's biggest credit, and United has nothing to offer that even comes close to matching this. Now, at the beginning of this video, I commented on how similar United and Delta cards were. I think you can see that that is true. There's a lot on here that really is the same. However, beneath the surface, I pulled out 4 things in how I evaluate credit cards that really showed me that Delta is offering more value more consistently than what United brings to the table. In my mind, Delta has bigger and better sign-up bonuses. They offer a better big credit with each of their credit cards that makes it easier to retain and recoup value from the annual fee that you're paying in. Additionally, they've got less spending incentives, which I consider a good thing. Not necessarily a bad thing to just get your value up front and not have to meet certain requirements once you're holding the card already. Finally, Delta's companion ticket was the differentiator for me. There's so much value in redeeming that if you happen to travel with another person, that United not being able to match that is a significant disadvantage in my mind when I look at their lineup of credit cards. I didn't make this video to convince you that Delta cards are better than United cards. There are certainly a few things that United cards offer that are slight advantages over the Delta lineup, which I didn't highlight here today. However, what I did try to highlight were the biggest trends. I will always lean towards simplicity and clarity in getting my value back, and those big credits that provide easy value, as opposed to hunting down multiple mini credits that could add up to more value, but also result in more work, more time, and more frustration in order to get that back. Don't get me wrong, I think there's value to be found in United as well. But I do think that the majority of people who travel and spend like I do will see that Delta does offer more for them than their counterparts on the United Airlines side. I'm really interested to see where all of you land, so please let me know down beneath in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, that's all I do on this channel. Try to provide you more ways to get value out of your credit card, so consider liking this video and subscribing to see more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.